All right, so we had a great question come in, which is, hey Heather, yeah, I'm totally down with this whole scheduling thing that you're talking about, but I have a question regarding how to deal with unexpected or unplanned events. And so what we want to do is realize again that when you start scheduling for the first time, when you say, okay, here's all my 24-hour time slots, here's breakfast, lunch, dinner, here's all my exercise, here's my self-improvement time, here's work, here's homeschooling my kids, then there's going to be a lot of white space, okay? And if you're somebody who has frequent, unexpected events come up, first thing you probably want to do is preemptively block out maybe an hour every day and call it unexpected events. Now, this is one of the reasons I love Google Calendar, by the way. It's a drag and drop. So you could stick that unexpected event at 5 o'clock every day. But then if you realize that today it was at 2 o'clock, you just drag it up, put it at 2 o'clock, and then whatever was at 2 o'clock, you move to a different time slot. So it's really easy to just kind of maneuver things and toggle them back and forth. What will happen over time as you do this practice of scheduling, adjusting your schedule based on reality, is you'll start to get a much better feel for how often these unexpected events happen, even so much so that you don't see them as being unexpected events anymore. You're like, oh yeah, that's right. My family comes over about 3 times a week. Why don't I just block it out and call it family time 3 times a week where we all hang out, play games or whatever, because that's the reality, right? That's what really happens. Where we get in trouble with scheduling and calendars is when we have a set it and forget it mentality. And what I mean by that is your calendar should be kind of forever altering based on your reality. So the schedule you had when you were working, kids were going to school, looked one way. The schedule you have now looks a lot different. If you go back to work, it's going to go back again to a different way, right? But you can't just leave it the one way and then think you're going to still follow it, because it's going to look drastically different from reality. So your calendar should not be the ideal. It should be the reality, okay? So that's a very important thing. So if you're somebody that has those unexpected events, pre-block out for them. As you do this week in and week out, make notes. Unexpected event, my mom popped over. We talked for an hour and she left. Well, maybe you start noticing she does that every single week. So why not just call her up and say, hey mom, why don't you come over on Sunday this week and we'll do our kind of hour get together. And you can actually put it on the calendar intentionally, right? So it's not a surprise anymore because you know it's coming. But that's only going to happen if you were to budget out, you know, kind of these impromptu get-togethers with people, or unexpected events as we're calling them. And then you actually go back and alter it and say, mom came over for an hour. And then you go back from maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks of your calendar and you realize it's happening every single week. So now it's not an unexpected event anymore. It's actually very predictable and we know it's coming. So we can pre-budget for it intentionally. See how that works? It's kind of like a big cycle. It's a big loop. So that's how we want to do it. And then if you're somebody who truly does have unexpected events, like these are just a random thing that might happen every great once in a while, budget a certain amount of time each week for the unpredictables. It's like a contingency, right? When you do your monthly budget or a business budget, you should always take 10% of whatever the total is and assume that that's going to be a contingency factor to balance out unexpected expenses. Same thing with your time. So if you know that you are using up a majority of your hours, you might randomly pull a couple 30-minute spots and call it unexpected events. And that way you're covered on that front. You guys have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.